For our first science activity, we are going to do a color experiment. Now this is your hypothesis sheet, and here you're going to use your loose parts, and then we are going to test our hypothesis against a real world example. So what you'll need is this sheet. You can download it through the link, and then you'll also need a yellow loose part, a red loose part, a blue loose part, a green loose part, an orange one, and also a purple one. All of the primary colors and all of the secondary colors. What you're going to do is you're going to let your child have the opportunity to create or form their own hypothesis. And then you are going to do the experiment to prove or disprove that hypothesis. The nice thing about science experiments is that there's not actually a right or a wrong answer, it's just proving or disproving. So it's a great way to teach them without them feeling self-conscious about themselves. So it's a wonderful hands-on way of learning. So I'm going to swap the camera now that you can see a bird's eye view, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do this color experiment. Okay, so let's take a look at what the experiment is going to look like in practical execution. What I have here is I've got the hypothesis sheet, I've got our primary color loose parts, and then also the secondary colors, and I've got an experiment medium here in the primary colors, red, yellow and blue. You can also use water that's been colored with food coloring in red, yellow and blue, and I have separate dishes just to spoon a teaspoon or so out into, or you can use paint and a brush to mix the paints. Any way you prefer is perfectly fine. Now what you're going to do is you're going to give your child the opportunity to set their own hypothesis. You're going to let them do the first experiment by putting red in one circle and yellow in the other. Then you are going to ask them what they think the color will be when you mix the two of these primary colors together. What secondary color will you get? Now, the great thing about this is an experiment. So whatever your child chooses is perfectly fine, because you're going to either prove or disprove it. A very gentle way of teaching them the correct answer. So we as adults know that red and yellow make orange, but they might choose green. And that's perfectly fine, because this is their hypothesis, and a hypothesis can be disproved. So say this is what your child chooses. You will take the experiment medium. In my case, I've got these paddles, red and yellow combined to make orange. We see it's orange. So this hypothesis is false, and the correct hypothesis would be orange. You can also repeat the activity then with blue and red. That's these two, blue and red. That makes purple. And you can also do, which one have we not done? Yellow and blue, right? Yellow and blue. And we know that makes green. Let's check it. Yes, yellow and blue makes green. Very nice and prolonged activity if you include some paint or some watercolors. It's just difficult for me on camera to show that. So I hope that this activity has given you some inspiration to do some color experiments with your child.